Hello and welcome to a session I'm calling Glute-lates. This will be a session using Pilates to focus on our gluteus maximus, medius, and minimus. You will need a mat. I am also going to use a squishy ball, a chair, a wall, a towel. These are things that will help to accentuate and maximize this session. Sitting on your mat, have some space behind you, knees bent, legs hip-width apart, stretch those arms forward, and exhale, start to roll back about halfway, and inhale right up on top of those sitting bones. Exhale back, and inhale up at the top. Exhale back, and scoop out those abdominals, pull them in, inhale up. Now try rounding the arms with wider elbows, fingertips touching. Exhale back. And now try taking it a little bit lower. And bring it all the way down onto your back. Stretch it out, arms overhead, legs long, total body stretch. Reaching one leg longer than the other, feel some movement in the hips and pelvis. Bend the knees, feet to the mat, arms stretch out into a T shape, and let's sway the legs side to side. Dropping knees to the side, twisting the trunk of the body. Come back to the center and draw knees in, wrapping arms around the legs. We'll rock it out side to side, across that low back as we breathe in and exhale. We'll find that squishy ball now and place it just between the knees, inner thighs squeezing in. Stretch the arms up to the sky, palms facing in. Exhale, let's bridge, lift up. Lift the hips, the low back, the middle back, up and away from the mat. And inhale down. Exhale, lifting up. Press those heels down. Inhale, return it down. Keep the arms nice and still. Lifting up. Find the flow. Let's hold here at the top for some pulses. 3, 2, 1. Again. 3, 2, squeeze up a little higher. Again. And 3, 2, squeeze up, abs in. Hold the bridge and let's stretch the arms open to the side in a T shape and just pulse the hips up an inch, down an inch, 8 times. Point the tailbone up. Stay up with the hips, lift the arms, and now pop the heels away from the floor and repeat those pulses. Keep the hips up and alternate heel drops from foot to foot. Keeping one heel popped and the other foot flat, we'll do a set of pulses from here. Exhale, more abs in. Keep the hips high and switch the heel that's popped. Pulse it out again. Really fatiguing those glutes. Let's try both heels popped. Squeeze into the midsection with those inner thighs, inner heels and ankles. A little higher up. Drop the heels now and lift the toes and balls of the feet from the floor. Last set of pulses. You can do it. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Lowering the arms, softening the ribs, and lowering the hips finally all the way down. Hug those knees into the chest. Stretch the legs long, reach the arms overhead. Let's get ready for a roll up. Exhale up to sitting. Lower back down, total body stretch. Exhale, flex up, sitting tall. Tuck the tailbone and roll through that spine down again into the mat. Moving with your exhale breath. So exhale up, inhale at the top, exhale, roll down, inhale at the bottom. Try with the rounded arms, fingertips touching. Keep those heels down and legs, try to keep them out of it. Flex the feet on the way up and point the toes on the way down. Let's stay up at the top and try some twists side to side with those rounded arms. Head and neck moving with the twist, looking over that back shoulder. Bring the hands behind you now, bend the knees, feet are into the mat, and if you got the squishy ball or a yoga block or something equivalent, you can bring it between the knees, squeezing in, fingertips facing the heels, and we're going to lift up from here, hips high. Keeping arms relatively straight, we're dropping the tailbone and lifting the hips, kind of like that bridge lift. As you lift the hips, squeeze in. Exhale up and in. Inhale, control it down, and exhale, lift it up. Chest lifts, work in the shoulders and back of the arms. Stay here at the top for a set of pulses. Exhale and exhale. Hold the hips high and try popping those heels. And guess what? Pulse it out. Good, final press to the top, and let's lower the hips all the way down. Good work. A little butterfly stretch reward, bottoms of the feet together, knees out to the sides, and let's press the arms forward. Looking down, breathing in. Just give the legs and hips and back a little stretch, a little rest. Coming into hands and knees. Extend one leg back, point the toes, keep the hips parallel as we lift the leg up to the height of the hip and lower it down. Think of that glute muscle lifting the weight of the leg. There's a lift of the abdominals with the lift of the leg as you exhale, lift. Now try bend and stretch, or a little kick, controlled kick move. Bend the knee down, extend the leg back and behind you with a flexed foot. Keep the spine neutral, shoulders steady. Point the toes, keep the leg high, and let's start to circle. The glutes are circling the leg up, around, and down, squeezing in using the inner thigh. Flex the foot, reverse the direction of the circle, but keep the lift, the top part of the circle, the focus for those glutes. Hold the leg and let's pulse it out. Reach from hip to heel a little longer through that entire leg. Good work. Let's sit back to the heels. Stretch it out for a moment, breathe it in. Inhale, side number 2. Come up into your quadruped starting position. Extend the second leg behind you, toes pointed. Try not to rotate that hip open. Keep both hip flexors facing the ground as we lift the leg and lower. Lift and lower. Find the flow. Keep the leg lifted. Flex the foot as we bend and stretch. Think of how the glute is lifting and controlling the weight of that leg. You're going to start circling that leg with long pointed toes. About 8 times. And then the other direction. Hold the leg back behind you and pulse it up and down, little pulses 8 times. And sit back to the heels, child's pose. Coming down onto our side body now. Let's lift the top leg, feet flexed, and bend and stretch back to that controlled kick. Knee bending towards top elbow, and then pressing that leg nice and long and even bring it a little bit behind the body to really contract those glute muscles. Try to keep the height of the knee and the height of the ankle and foot at the same distance from the floor. Move into a bicycle motion, bend and stretch the leg forward and sweep it back 4 times, and then let's reverse the direction. Sometimes the foot is higher than the knee, so try to even it out. Find that parallel to the floor alignment. Hold the leg back behind you with the heel a little higher than the toes, and let's pulse it up and down 8 times. And then bending those knees in front of you, stacking legs. Feet flexed. Try lifting the top leg a couple inches from the bottom leg without rolling the hips back. Keep hips stacked and lift and lower. Placing the hand on top of that leg for a little bit more weight. If you've got a lightweight 3-pound, 5-pound, you can add that here. And little pulses up an inch and down an inch. Working through the side glute. Good job. Let's just twist it open and rest. Rest and recover. Take a few deep breaths here. Bring that arm back and let's set up for side number 2. Come down to that elbow. Flex the feet, lift the top leg, and let's move into our bend and stretch. Inhale, bend and stretch. Reach the leg longer every time you extend that leg. Bend the knee towards the elbow. And then move into bicycle. Bend and reach the leg forward in front of the body, and straight leg sweeps back behind you. Let the glutes pull the leg back and reverse the direction. The rest of the body is still. Hold the leg behind you, tip the heel a little higher for pulses. Get into that abductor muscle. And then stack the legs, bend the knees, bring the legs in front of you, and try lifting that entire leg up to the height of the hip, and then lower it down. Try not to let the knee be higher than the foot or the foot be higher than the knee. Find that evenness. When you lift the leg, try reaching that knee forward. Option to place the hand or a weight on top of the leg. So we often tip the hips back without realizing it. Pulse it out now. That's why reaching the knee forward helps us keep our alignment. And let's twist it out, looking away from those legs. Coming on up, Hands and knees, let's curl the toes and find our way into plank pose. Press the floor away and pike the hips up into downward dog. Walking the hands and feet towards each other for a forward bend from standing. Enjoy this upside down moment. Bending knees. Let's do a little set of squat pulses here, lifting the toes away from the floor so our weight is back into the heels, the back of the legs and glutes. Pulse and pulse and pulse it a little deeper, coming all the way up. We're going to use the chair for this next section. You can also use a wall or a stability ball. Placing hands on top of the chair, neutral spine, pull the abdominals in. We're keeping that one leg bent as it lifts and lowers. Bring the knee towards the chair and exhale, lift the leg up and behind you, but try not to straighten the leg. Keep the shape of the leg. That's what the glute is lifting and lowering, using the weight of the leg as a resistance to strengthen the glute. Straighten the legs nice and long, point the toes and lift the leg up. Lower it down. Exhale, lift and reach and lower it down. Stay up with a flexed foot. Let's pulse it out here. Abs drawing in. Keep the back leg still and start to bend and stretch that bottom supporting leg. Flex and point the top foot as you bend and stretch the bottom leg. Good job. Lower that down. Leg number 2, keeping the bend in the knee as that leg lifts and lowers. Knee comes towards the chair and then lifts up and away. Foot to the sky. Try not to arch the back as you lift the leg. That's how the abdominals are going to stay connected and supportive. Straight leg, toes point. Let's lift and lower. Really precise motion, lifting and lowering. Keep the leg lifted, flex the foot and pulse it out. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Heel longer. And that supporting knee is going to bend and stretch as we flex and point. Little chair push up here, but much more for the legs than it is for the upper body. Good, and release down. Step away from the chair so we can find supported downward dog here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bend one knee and then the other. And slowly coming on up. I usually do this move with a stability ball, which I prefer, but I don't have access to that today. So I'm going to use a chair and a blanket just to cushion up the hard edge of the chair, bringing my shoulder blades to the edge of the chair, arms reaching to the sky, and it's that motion of bridge lifting. So dropping tailbone towards the ground and lifting hips up. Try to keep the knees on top of the ankles, heels pressed down. You can also bring the hands behind the head if you prefer, or hands on the hips. Let's pulse it out here at the top. And then switch the position of the legs into an external rotation, heels together, toes apart. Keep hips high and just open and close those knees, adding the element of inner thigh squeeze. Let's add the bridge. Drop the hips low, knees wide, lift the hips high, squeeze in. Wide and low, in and up. Up a little higher, squeeze in a little deeper. Reach the arms, you can do it. Press, 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 and then a graceful dismount. Good job. Maneuver your way up to standing, and our final sequence is going to use a wall. So find a wall that you can use and bring your mat to that space. Using the squishy ball or stability ball, if you have the larger version, step forward away from the wall, bring your low back into the ball, and this allows your heels and back of the body to take on the work as you're leaning back. Inhale, bend the knees, exhale, press the legs straight. Try to bend the knees and drop the hips as low as the knees, maybe even lower depending. Hold here for little pulses, down an inch and up an inch. Point those knees forward. A little lower if you can. Sit, 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 sit. And coming on up, walk the feet back towards the wall. And now have a seat. Sit a little closer to the wall. Come onto your back onto the mat. And bring your heels, ankles to the ball that's in the wall. Keep the legs straight, arms by the side. We're going to lift the glutes, squeeze the glutes as we lift them up and away from the floor, pushing the ball up the wall. So activate those glutes to lift up and away and lower it down. Exhale up and inhale down. Before you come all the way down, you're going to take it back up again. Find that continuity, connect to the breath, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Good, stay up here at the top if you can. Reach arms to the sky, little pulses. Drop the hips an inch, lift up an inch. The ball moves a little bit. Balance work required, breath work required. Good, up a little higher and slowly lower down. Nice work. Knees to chest for a moment. Our final move is a bridge move, surprise, surprise, bringing feet to the wall. And if you got the squishy ball, bring that between the knees to squeeze into the center. And lift the hips, the tailbone, the back away from the ground as you exhale up. Inhale, control it down. Exhale, little higher. Inhale, down. Exhale, squeeze in. Inhale, return. You're also going to feel work in the backs of the legs. Also a great low back strengthener. Option to lift the arms to the sky. A little bit more challenging. Deepen the abdominals every time you lift the hips. Abs involved. Exhale up. Let's try pulses at the top. Happy thoughts. You can do this. Pulse and pulse. Exhale, exhale, a little higher. And lower it down. Good work. Wow, really stacking and layering those exercises one on top of the other with an emphasis on glute activation. Just let the legs shake out. Cross one ankle over the opposite knee, both knees bent. Keep one foot into the wall and just sway the side to side. Little hip mobility, low back release. Switch legs. If you feel like your tailbone is lifting, then you have to come farther away from the wall. Keep your pelvis aligned, your neutral alignment in this stretch and mobility exercise. Sway side to side, keep breathing. Hug the knees in for a little squeeze here. Inhale and exhale. And we'll finish just with those legs up into the wall. Heels drop into the wall. Close the eyes, bring the arms by the side. And just let this be your cool down physically, mentally, emotionally. Breathe in. Let the legs relax. Exhale. Enjoy the stillness. And stay here for as long as you like. You have concluded your Express Glute-lates program for today. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you again soon.